Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Christine and I hope that you are having the best day thus far. If you were here last week, then you already saw I built these two workbenches in preparation for today's project that I've been wanting to build for a while. And by the way, these workbenches have come in so handy. They're just 2x4s and plywood, but they have been little gems. They've got wheels with brakes on the bottom so they wheel in and out of the garage. Super easy for storage. And I've already used them so much this summer for lots of projects that I truly love them. So for today's project, I've been keeping my eyes open for a particular type of bookcase that I just haven't found. And you know when you have an idea in your mind and you just can't find it. So I'm going to attempt to build it. And the best idea I've gotten for the bottom half of my project was from another YouTuber. I'll show you here in a minute. But first, I thought you might enjoy seeing some of the horses. They are having so much fun this summer in the sun, running, playing, and you'll see here in a minute a little flirting and some best buddy nuzzle time. So hopefully you'll enjoy them for a minute and then let's get started. Okay, so the story starts when I was preparing to go to Round Top, Texas the first time at the beginning of this year. I looked on YouTube videos to see if I could get an idea of what to expect, what type of furniture they might have, where to stay in close proximity, all those good things. And I came across this adorable couple called DIY Wife. She is super talented and he is hilarious. You've probably seen them, but this is the video that popped up when I was looking. And my goal was to see what to expect while I was there. But at the end of their video, she found this awesome piece of furniture. It's right up my alley. Look at this. And I thought maybe I could find one similar with a bookcase on top. But since it's one of a kind at Round Top and not mass produced, I didn't find anything similar. And that's when my first idea was maybe I should build this myself. I wanted these tapered, straight legs, the drawers for storage, the old chunky hardware, and that stained patina that looks like somebody threw a cup of coffee at it. So I watched their video again to try and study the piece, how it was built, the size of it, and map out my plan. And then I measured my wall and got all my dimensions from there. And you can see here are my legs, and then my drawers, and the bookshelf hutch on top with crown molding. It seems so simple, but I highly recommend put a plan to paper first for any project. I referred back to this often to eliminate mistakes, so let's hope it works out. Then I went on the hunt for different types of wood. I went to Home Depot and Lowe's, but ultimately I found this awesome supplier in my town that sources all types of beautiful wood. Red oak, white oak, maple cherry, everything you can imagine. And he was so patient with me and really educated me on all the different types of wood, which is great going forward for all the other build ideas I have. I showed him my plan and my inspiration piece, and he suggested pine. And apparently there's a couple different types of pine. So he suggested a white pine, which pine is known for being a softer wood, so it's easier to build with, which is great for me. The pricing is better. And so if this doesn't turn out and gets used for our family campfire, I won't feel so bad. And most important, it's very easy to distress, bang up, make wormholes, make it look old. And all those knot holes contribute to that rustic, worn, weathered look that I love. But it does have a tendency to yellow over time, so I just needed to be careful when I was staining it so it wouldn't yellow over time. Because I really like that carameled colored tone of wood, again with that coffee stained look, kind of like this. I think that is so pretty. So here's my first batch of wood, and I ended up getting 2 more loads like this. It turns out building furniture requires a lot more wood than I thought. And then I did also use Home Depot wood for some of the inside pieces and molding, which I'll show you. But I also found these old salvaged pale blue pieces of wood that are still sitting in my garage, so I need some ideas on what to build with them. I couldn't pass them up. I thought they were so pretty. So if you have any ideas on what to build with them, let me know. And this isn't a tutorial, but I'll kind of show you how I started out, where I deviated from my original plan, and a few mistakes I made along the way. So starting out, I measured these 2x2s for my legs. I would need 8 of them, so I made my cuts. So I've got 3 so far, and I plan to taper them down at the bottom so they have a more finished leg look. But then I laid everything out to get a visual. Hello, little ladies. This would be my front so far, and then on the back I plan to have sturdier legs that won't be seen, but they will provide more strength for the heavy bookcase I want to put on top. So I used 2x3s for the back. And I'm so glad I laid everything out, because I realized after looking at this, I like the 2x3s a lot better. They're chunkier, a lot more substantial to hold the weight. So I scrapped the 2x2 idea. Even though my inspiration legs looked like 2x2s, I went with the 2x3s, and I'm so glad I did. And I mention all this because it is important to be flexible in design, because you always know you're going to pivot at some point, change your mind, and I love these so much more. And here's a better visual. The 2 on the left are the 2x2s, and the 2 on the right are bigger. So which one would you pick? I've already started to taper these at the bottom, and then I realized I also want my base to be taller. So 36 inches minus the tabletop. Now I just need to make the longer cuts on the different wood, scrap the 2x2s, which I can always use down the road for another project. So now I've got my 8 legs. Let's taper them off at the bottom. I decided to go 5 inches up from the bottom for the taper, and let's see how that looks. So I haven't done those yet, But these are the ones I just cut to show you the slight taper, and it's just ever so slight. And here's where I'm at so far. And since I'm a visual person, I like to lay everything out several times, but this will be my top, and I'll have 3 pieces side by side, and they're about 8 inches, so 8, 16, 24 deep, and then these will be my drawer fronts. Obviously, I still need to build the drawer boxes and attach everything, but these are the legs. And I do think I need to taper them just a little bit more on the edges so it shows up a little bit more. But it's starting to look rustic, and if you remember the rusty, chunky handles that I did see in Texas, they had so many of them, and I purchased a bunch. But I've already used these dog ones for a project recently, which I'll show you down the road. It turned out so cute. But you can see it's just a little puppy face on it. And then I found these big ones specifically for this project. And you can kind of see right there just how big they are. But these will be beautiful. Hopefully it'll turn out. Yep, hopefully it will. And so we can see kind of what they're going to look like on this project, and if they're going to fit. And I think they're going to work out perfect. Right now it doesn't look like much. Obviously there's a lot of work still to do to build it, but this gives me an idea of where I'm at, keeps me motivated, and I still need to pick a stain color as well. And speaking of stain, I tried a bunch of different colors of stain on the wood and narrowed it down to these 2. Now the one on the right kind of has a purple hue to it out in the light, and so I ended up going with the one on the left, which is tried and true. This was such a fun experiment. I should have showed you all the other colors that I practiced with, but it just solidified how much I love the same color tone that I always use, and it's the one on the left, and I still love it. And I did also practice with this pre-stain on a couple pieces. It's designed to help the final stain color be more even, but I actually prefer an uneven look. And we're all different, so if you like that even look for your stain, this is a great product. But I scrapped it because I like the dings, the dents, the imperfections to be highlighted. And then I also used a dark wax finish at the end because I really want to illuminate all those wormholes, knots, chunks, scratches, dents, and make those stand out even more proud so that hopefully the piece looks older. You could also use a white wax for a bleached look or an oxidized look, which I like as well, because the wax settles into the wood grain to give it that look. But I'm hoping this will turn out to look old and weathered. And then I did pick up a bunch of these pieces at Home Depot. They're just 1x3s, but I thought these will be perfect to put in between the drawers and on the inside so that the drawers can slide back and forth on. So I just need to cut them down. But I want to make sure my measurements are correct side to side to make sure it fits my plan and fits the wall. Because I'm going to be cutting a ton of these. I'll have 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, and then my drawers will be in the center. Oh, there's the wind. So I just need to cut these, sand them down, put pocket holes on both ends. And then I sanded everything down, which always takes forever. It's not my favorite part, but it is definitely necessary. I've got my pocket holes to attach to each leg. And here's a finished back leg. I like it. I just need to screw in the wood pieces in the center and then fill in all the corners with wood putty and let it dry and then sand those down. And then for the tabletop, I just need to attach these 3 pieces with glue and pocket holes, a bunch of pocket holes you can see, and I love that discolored wood. And I did make sure that my pieces for the tabletop were a lot thicker because tabletops usually are thicker, and hopefully this will make it look a little bit more polished and not so homemade. So let's attach everything. Okay, so I've got my front piece and my back piece all attached. And now I just need to take these side pieces and attach them on the side. It'll also help my drawers slide. And I measured so this plus my legs would leave a 1-inch overhang on top, because I kind of want there to be an overhang for the top piece. Not much, but an overhang nonetheless. I'll show you with a bigger piece, because I do want the overhang to be for the tabletop. Not too much and not too little. I want there to be about 1 inch of an overhang on top. Kind of like that. And so that's how I made my measurements. So I have this upside down. It was a little bit easier to attach it upside down. And these things you can see are adding the support in the middle, but they're also adding space for the drawers to slide back and forth. You can kind of see how it sticks out right there, and that's what the door will slide on right there on that track. And so I didn't have to attach any drawer slides or anything additional. This worked perfectly. And so now I just need to screw everything onto the front piece. And so here is where we're at. So far, so good. You can see a sneak peek of the stain color on the left leg, and I think it's going to look great. So come back next week. We can build the drawers for inside, attach the drawer front with the hardware, build the bookcase, and make all sorts of dents and dings and paint splatters to make this look old and weathered. And I think you'll be surprised with where I'm headed next. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your time with me today. I hope the rest of your day is awesome, and we'll see you soon.